Okay, first off, want to give credit to Alabama for doing a great job tonight. Certainly whipped us pretty good, and we didn't have many counter punches for them. Just got out coached and outplayed today. So with that, I'll let you all ask you questions.
All right, those two scores, quick scores for the half, kind of really cost it, wasn't it, 10-3, then it jumped to 24-3 right quick.
It did,
A lot of
you know,
fun.
the dam broke a little bit, and like I said, we didn't really have any good counter punches even coming back in the second half. You know, you'd like to reduce that a little bit. It just didn't happen. Too many mistakes, and they played well.
Coach, should we read a lot into what happened with the quarterback play there, or was that just trying to, let's see if somebody else?
Yeah, we're just trying to find some answers, trying to find some spark. I would say we're going to just have to, reevaluate everything, quarterback play, everything. So, we'll see where we land. But, yeah, the big thing was trying to find, a change of momentum. It just didn't happen.
Mark, you had a few opportunities, the first few series, the first play of the game, the fumble in their territory, the penalty that gave you the first and goal, and you got 3 points out of it. How hard is when you have that many opportunities and you don't get anything?
Yeah, that was the thing. Early on, we just weren't very opportunistic. Like you said, first play of the game, we did have a shot if we hit them on the run to have a big play, if not a touchdown. And I just couldn't quite place it where we needed to. Like you said, you kick a field goal, and then they rough the snapper. So, you sit there, should I take points off the board, should I not? But, you got to take the points off the board and try to get a touchdown. We about found a way to keep from even having a field goal attempt there in a minute. About to attempt a 52-yarder, it looked like. But, fortunately, we scrambled around and got the ball down the field close enough for another attempt at the field goal and made it, so that was good. But we just didn't take advantage of the opportunities that we had, like you said, on the front end, and then the momentum got away from us, and we just didn't have a counter.
Did it take much to figure out where the momentum got away from you there, like right there at the end of the first half, you got the block punt, the big touchdown. Did you almost sense that there was a little bit of deflation going after that?
Well, it's still early, it's still first half of the ball game, so we know there's time to rally and get things going again. But yeah, it was discouraging, no doubt. But if you coach the game long enough, 21 points is not a deficit that you can't come back on. You just got to, bang away and get some points on the board and try to swing the momentum and all that. But we just were not able to do that.
Was there something specific Grayson was or wasn't doing that merited the change, or was it just the whole offense?
Well, we just weren't moving the ball well. We weren't making plays. He did hit a stretch where he was missed a few. He started out, I don't know what it was, maybe 6 of 7, 6 of 9, something like that. And then there was a string of a few that just had a few in a row that we weren't completing. And we've always thought about having Bryce come in the game in the first half anyway. So at that point, we thought it was a good time to do it, see if we can get a little spark and work out that way.
Did there success throwing the ball? Did that surprise you in just how pinpoint Coker was today?
Their success? Well, part of it is, when you run the ball pretty well, you're going to have some good play action pass. And when you have a lead, it's a little bit different feeling, than when you're trying to come back. So they got it in a position where they could throw when they wanted to and pick their shots a little bit, and had good scheme and executed well.
Mark, what does this game tell you about your football team? Did you learn some things that you did?
We're just not good enough today. That's the main thing. It's a long season, and there's a lot of games to be played. There's a lot of things to be played for, and we understand that. But when you have a game like today, first of all, any loss is painful. When you have a loss like that, it's going to make us go to the well and make sure we're doing the right things, but we know it's a long season, we know there's a lot of opportunity coming up, and we know Tennessee's not gonna feel sorry for us, so we got a lot of work to do, and got to make a lot of good decisions starting tonight.
Mark, a lot of players we just spoke to pointed to mental errors, mistakes they made. Do you think the atmosphere contributed to that at all?
Oh, I don't know. I think first of all, we got a pretty good bunch of guys, and they're gonna take it as far as they're not gonna point the finger at someone else. They're gonna say, "This is what I did here, there, whatever it may be." And I'm sure there's a few mental errors here and there, but I don't know if that was what did us in as much as really not taking advantage of some opportunities, and also not executing as good as we could and we should.
Coach, in a game like this, you guys are always talking about trying to keep the players focused on the very next week, very next game, the most important thing. But what's the coaches meeting like? What's it like when you guys talk to each other about a loss like this? And
Well, you just have to look at every phase of what you're doing. And, it starts with the film, just to make sure we all know exactly what happened. Because you can have some thoughts and then look at the film and say, well, I thought it was this, but it really wasn't. So we got to make sure that we do a great job of studying the film and finding the things that were problematic, and then we got to address it. Do you address it by personnel? Do you address it by changing scheme? Do you address it by there's a lot of different ways to look at it. So, and then you got to be willing to make changes if need be, or you just got to be patient and consider that guys are learning as you go. It's just sometimes. It's just like on the punt block. We think we know what happened. We're pretty sure we know what happened, but we watch that film to be sure. But you get one guy makes a mistake, blocks the wrong guy, turns with somebody free inside. You got to block punt. That's a problem. But if you say, oh well, we got to take him out, and put another guy, and then you start training that guy from scratch. Sometimes when you make a mistake like that, a lesson's learned that that is meaningful the rest of your career. So you don't start from scratch. But sometimes you may say, you know what, this guy has had an issue over and over and over. We got to replace him. We got to give another guy a chance. So those are some of the things you got to think about and try to determine what to do.